So before I start this encounter, let me beg you not to judge me. Because some of the stuff I'm about to tell you is really funny. But it wasn't funny at the time because I needed help. For real. I mean, I really needed help. And thanks to my father, I got the help that I needed. And I no longer use drugs. But back then, I was on that Flakka. I started using it while I was in prison for breaking and entering. And that's a whole entire another story. But when I got out, I was addicted. And the problem with Flakka, it sends you through this cycle where you get high and at first you're jittery and anxious. Then you relax for about 30 minutes. And next you get paranoid, like people are watching you, even when you're alone. When I was on that Flakka, I would think that there were cameras in the outlet in the house. Then after you get past the paranoia, you become delusional. I mean, for real delusional, thinking that you got superhuman strength and that you can do anything. Now, it was important that I explained that to you so you can understand the dumb that I did, but it doesn't excuse it whatsoever. A little bit more about me. I'm a full-fledged country boy. Hell, as a kid, I had shoes, but I refused to wear them. Ran around barefooted, climbed trees barefooted, went into the store barefooted. I'm the reason why they put the signs outside of the store that says no shoes, no shirt, no service. That's me. Our family has two houses on the property, one towards the front and one towards the back. Now, the house where I live on the back side is run down, and behind that house is nothing but woods and woods for miles. Well, this particular night, I'm high on that Flakka, and I'm going through the cycle that I told you about. I get to the paranoid part, and I feel like someone is outside watching me. Now, if you ever been high on drugs, even something as simple as weed, you know you gotta talk yourself through being high, kind of to calm your nerves. So I'm walking around the house saying, Jim, ain't nobody out there in them woods, nobody's outside, you just being paranoid. And once we come down from this high, you need to leave this alone forever. Now understand, when I tell you Flakka gets you high, it gets you high because I'm there in the house alone with no shirt on and no shoes, holding an entire conversation with myself, literally answering myself, saying, man, you're right, but every time I look out them windows, I see something moving. Now pause. Like I told you, I'm a country boy. We live in the country. There's no window blinds, no curtains, no shades, none of that. And I swear to you, I see what looks like a head pop up into the window, take a look, and then go back down. First, I saw it when I was in the living room. Then I saw it again in the kitchen. And when I went to the bedroom to turn off the television, I saw it out the corner of my eye again. But you gotta understand, I'm high on that Flakka and I know it. So I'm writing the whole thing off as I'm just being paranoid. But the next thing you know, that paranoia starts to intensify and I get thirsty. So now I'm in the kitchen getting me a glass of water. And I swear to you, I saw something move by the kitchen window. Scared the out of me. In my kitchen, there's a hole in the floor about the size of a dinner plate. So I turn off all the lights, lay down on the floor and listen through that hole. And now I'm hearing footsteps. But again, I'm high on that Flakka. And I know it makes you paranoid. So I lay there on the floor, in the dark, on my stomach, for about 10 minutes, listening. And I can hear clear footsteps outside. And that's when one of the other side effects of that Flakka kicks in. It causes you to get extremely relaxed. So now I'm laying on the floor next to this hole and all of my muscles begin to relax. My body starts to feel heavy. My lips are laying on the floor and I start drooling for about 5 minutes. But the entire time I'm laying there on the floor drooling, I still hear those footsteps. And again, I'm on that Flakka and I've been on it for a long time. So I know I'm going through this relaxation phase. I'm coming out of the paranoia phase. So what I'm hearing is actually real. But right then and there is when the final phase of this high kicks in. And I like to call it the Superman phase. My brain starts talking. You done picked the wrong house to come around talking about robbing. Must be out your mind round here messing with me. Now I'm up, moving around, looking for my shotgun. I find the gun but drop the shells all over the ground. I'm in the bedroom. The only light on in the house is the light in the hallway. Imagine a scene. I'm there, bending down, picking up the shells when out of the corner of my eye, I see this head pop up again. And it looked to me like a damn Bigfoot head. We have them Bigfoots around here, and I have seen them Bigfoots. But again, let me remind you, I'm high on that Flakka. So inside of my head, it's not right. I'm saying this Bigfoot gonna come up here and run up on my house? No, I'm gonna go outside and I'm finna shoot you in the dick. So now I'm standing there loading the shotgun, walk out of the bedroom, turn off the lights in the hallway, go to the back side of the house, turn on the back floodlights, go to the front side of the house, turn on the front floodlights, head outside, make a left, go around the side of the house, and when I get to the side of my house, it ain't no damn Bigfoot. This thing is 7 feet tall, black as midnight, so black that the lights from the side of the house are hitting his fur, and it looks as if that light is being absorbed by this fur. Now looking at it, it's a black wolf standing on his hind legs with this gigantic snout, and this thing is looking at me like, what is your little about to do? Now, let me pause right here in the story and say this to you and remind you again. I'm high on that Flakka, nowhere near in my right mind. And my high ass decides to raise that shotgun, and I say out loud, if you don't get from around here, I'm gonna shoot you in your dick. And as I'm raising that shotgun, its demeanor changes, its lips curl up, showing its teeth, and you can see the intensity in its eyes change. But when I squeeze the trigger, I realize that I did not chamber a round. So now I am chambering a round, and it takes off running into the woods. And again, let me remind you, I'm high on that Flakka, so I go chasing into the woods after it. Mind you, I have nothing on but a pair of shorts, and I run 25 to 30 yards into the damn woods chasing after this thing. Imagine the scene. I'm there in the darkness, that Flakka is still in my head, making me think I'm invincible, and I hear this thing circling back, coming in my direction. So I head towards the sound. Now, when I get to that area, there's nothing there, but I hear it circling around behind me again. So I head back in that direction. Listen, I'm in the woods for a solid 10 minutes in pitch black darkness, looking for this thing. And then I start to hear this voice in the back of my head. It sounds like someone screaming underwater, trying to communicate with me. And I know what it is. It's my damn common sense trying to talk to me. That's what that Flakka does to you. It suppresses all common sense. But I hear this screaming in the back of my head, and it gets louder and louder and louder and louder. And then it becomes clear, saying, hey, it's more than one of them out here. Now that's when I come down from that high and come back to all of my senses, looking around, and realize that I am outside in the dark in the night with a damn werewolf. And it may just be more than one. Listen to me when I tell you, reality hit me like somebody dropped a piano out a third-story window and smashed me to death. Turned around and ran my half-naked into the house, turned off all the lights, made sure the doors were locked, and then I climbed into my attic and stayed there until morning. That following morning, over breakfast, I had a conversation with myself. And I realized I needed some damn help. This Flakka had me all messed up. I could have died last night on this. So I hop in my truck, drive up to the front side of the property, knock on the door, and I sit down and I tell my father that I am addicted to drugs and I need help. But understand, we didn't have no money for rehab. So my loving father locked me into a bedroom for 15 days, fed me, and made sure that I was all right while I detoxed off that Flakka. And understand, when you're detoxing off of something like this, you act absolutely crazy. That man, who I love with all my heart, went through that with me. And when the 15 days were over and I re-emerged from that room as his son, he simply hugged me and told me that he loved me. 4 days later, he helped me get a job. And I've been off them drugs ever since.